Hey Stitch family, it's Andrew here. Now, I've got to apologise, it's been ages since my last community update. But that's because I've had a pretty disrupted couple of months. One of my very closest friends, who I've known for 35 years, or more than 35 years, died a few weeks ago after a very long battle with breast cancer. And I spent a lot of time over the last couple of months driving between Sydney and where she lived in rural New South Wales, making sense of it all, talking with her in the lead up to her passing, and then being with her family while we organised the memorial. It was a really challenging time. I wouldn't normally bring my personal life into a community update like this, but I mention it for two reasons. One, to explain why it's been so long since my last update. But two, because I really wanted to share with you, it was actually Stitch that helped me deal with the whole grieving process and delivering the eulogy at her memorial service. It was probably the most upset I've ever been. And this was one of the most special people in my life, someone I've known since I was 18. We gave speeches at each other's 21sts. We spoke at each other's weddings. We travelled together. Our families are very close, and she was still just so young. But somehow, having Stitch in my life seemed to make it easier for me to deal with the blow of losing her than it did for many others who were there. And thought about it, and I think that's because almost every member of Stitch has lost someone at some point, almost by definition. And over the years, the amazing friendships I've made with Stitch members all over the world have really shown me that when you lose people, it doesn't mean you're on a one-way street towards misery and loneliness, that life can and does go on. And while you can never replace the special people in your lives, but you can make new friends. And there's still a heck of a lot to live for and to look forward to. So, of all of the friends who are there at the ceremony, I would say, I think I've recovered the quickest. And I think a lot of that resilience comes from me being part of the Stitch family. So I just wanted to say thank you, both to the Stitch friends I've met along this journey and who are part of my life now, and also all the other Stitch members out there who I haven't met yet, or I might never meet, but who are connecting with each other in ways that help us all know there's a community there for us no matter what life throws at us, because it will throw things at us. We all know that. So thank you. Okay, so now that personal note is out of the way, it's on to more prosaic matters. What's this week's community update all about? That's right, we're going to be covering how activities, suggestions, and possibilities work on Stitch. So one of the goals of this video is to help explain some of the changes we've recently introduced to the activities page. But a much more important goal is to help you understand why the system works the way it does, and particularly how it works to help get every local community in every neighbourhood on Stitch going from starting with nothing to becoming vibrant and active communities just like this one, filled with hundreds and hundreds of activities with thousands of members forming new social connections each and every day. Okay, so when we first started Stitch, the basic idea I had was that everyone has activities they'd like to do, they just don't have people they'd like to do them with. So I'm a bit of an extrovert and I love organising events and activities, even for people I don't know yet. So it seemed obvious that the thing to do is to build Stitch to give any member the ability to create an activity they'd enjoy, and then Stitch would promote it to the other members in the area so that everyone could meet people who have similar interests. Now, while that was enough to get some communities started, it wasn't enough to get them going everywhere. It turns out, surprise, surprise, Not everyone in the community is like me. We learned that when you look at everyone in the community in any local area of Stitch, particularly when that community is first getting started, it's only a small percentage of people who will generally be willing to be the first people to start organising events and activities. Now remember, in the early stages of a community, nobody has met anyone yet. So it's not unusual for people to feeling a little bit apprehensive about creating an activity at that point. It turns out, however, a lot more people are willing to suggest an activity to other members in the community to see if they can meet other people who'd be interested before they go ahead and organise anything. And even more people are willing to show their support for the activities they'd like to attend, while the people who are left are those who simply just want to attend activities they're interested in. It also turns out that once a local community has become active and more people know each other, then a lot more people are willing to organise and to suggest activities. It's only when a community is just starting out that people do seem to find things a bit daunting, and that makes sense. So we realised that if we wanted to get community activity happening in every single town and city and neighbourhood where Stitch members live, we needed to give ways for all of those different types of members to get involved to help make community activity happen. Whether you want to organise activities, suggest things you'd like to do, show your support for activities you'd like to see happen, or simply attend the activities you're interested in, the system gives you a way to participate. And we've built the activities page to follow a flow that allows you to start small and then grow from there. You're going to see 3 types of cards on the activities page. You might just want to show your support for an activity that Stitch suggests, and we call these possibilities because they're activities that become possible once people express an interest in them. For people who are a little bit more enthusiastic, Stitch lets you suggest an idea for an activity that other members can support if they're interested in it. These are called suggestions on Stitch. And of course, if you get to the point where you feel comfortable organising something, which is really nothing more than deciding on a date and a venue for an activity you'd like to do, then you can create an activity on Stitch. So that probably doesn't mean all that much to you. So let's take a look at how it actually works. Let's start at the top with the ability to organise an activity. An activity on Stitch looks like this. It's got a title, a date, a location, and if you click into it, you'll see all the relevant info and you can register to attend. Creating activity, it's super easy. Just go to the activities page, click the button at the top, choose organize, and then hit next. Stitch will take you step by step through the process, asking you a single question on each page, like the title, the description, the date, the time, and location. It's super, super easy and something that any Stitch member can do. We know that because lots of them have done it. All activities get reviewed by the Stitch team before they get published, by the way, so you can't go too wrong. We'll reach out to you if you've missed anything and help make sure everything's right before it gets published. It's too easy, right? But let's say you've got an idea for something, but you're not sure if anyone in your area would be interested, or even if they are interested, you'd like to get their thoughts on what date you'd like to choose, or something else about your idea before you go ahead and organise it. That's when you just want to suggest something. The suggestion looks like this on Stitch. You can see it says suggestion here, but you'll also see there isn't any date listed. That's because Vanessa here is just interested in suggesting the idea of going to the theatre to get interest from local members, but she might not have settled on a date or which show she'd like to see yet. Creating a suggestion is even easier than creating an activity. Just go to the activities page, just like before, hit the button at the top, but this time choose suggest. Stitch will walk you through things step by step, but for a suggestion, you don't have to specify a date or a location or a bunch of other details about who can come if you don't want to. The whole point of a suggestion is to connect you to the other members who might also be interested in the same activity. So here's how it works. You first post your suggestion and it will stay listed on the activities page until you take it down, or until you stop communicating with members who show an interest. So that means even if someone doesn't respond immediately the day you post it, as new members join in your area, they'll see your suggestion, and eventually some of them will click I'm interested on your suggestion. At that point, Stitch connects the two of you via direct message with a notice that you're both interested in the activity. Now, it's really important for you to respond to the people who show an interest, as Stitch will take suggestions down if the organiser isn't being responsive. As more and more members express an interest in the suggestion, you'll get connected separately to each one of them, and you'll really start to get a feel for the level of enthusiasm for your idea. Now, given the whole goal of Stitch is to connect you with like-minded people who have common interests, you really want to connect with as many interested people as possible. So once you've had a number of people tell you that they're interested, a very natural thing for you to do is to want to turn it into an activity. You don't have to, but that's really natural. And Stitch makes this very easy. You just open up the suggestion and you'll see a button at the top that says, make this an activity. Hit that, specify a date and a venue, and you're good to go. Now, I forgot to take a screen recording of that part of the flow, but the system gives you lots of prompts to make it very simple. So I'm really sure you'll find it. Just open the suggestion and hit make this an activity. Okay, so the last type of card you'll see on the activities page are possibility cards. This is where you show your support for the activities you might be interested in. So possibilities are created by Stitch, and they help connect all the people in a local area where the community might not be very active yet, and the people who might be interested in the activity, but they don't yet know enough other members to feel confident to organise or suggest anything. So we found that we suggest something, but when we get enough people connected around this idea, eventually someone feels comfortable enough to turn it into an actual activity. So let's take a look at how that works. This is what a possibility looks like on the activities page. You'll see the little possibility label here, and you'll also see that nobody actually owns the possibility the way a single organiser owns an activity. You'll just see a few of the members in your local area that Stitch thinks would be likely to want to come along to an event like this. As members in the area start clicking into these possibility cards, you'll see the card changes to show the number of people who've actually expressed an interest in the idea. 7 people have expressed an interest in this one here, Glynis and 6 other members. And if you click into it, you'll see that, again, no single member owns the idea. This photo at the top here is actually a collage of all of the faces of the members who've expressed an interest, which you can see listed below. Now, because no single person owns the idea, things work a little bit differently than suggestion. Instead of each person who expresses interest getting connected to the owner, with possibilities, everybody who's interested gets connected to each other. So when someone new says they're interested, every single other person gets notified, and then Stitch encourages all of them to talk about the idea, make plans, encourage each other, and when they're ready, or when one of them's ready, any single one of them can decide to turn it into an activity. So let's take a look how that works. Here's the idea for the coffee and chat get together on Stitch. Let's click into it, and I can see that Glynis and a few other interested members are on it, so I click I'm interested. At this point, Stitch gives me a message to explain it has notified the other members that I'm interested in this activity. And hopefully some of those other members will message you. Now, the idea with all that messaging is to help you get to know the other people in your area who are interested in the same activity you are and generate enthusiasm for making it happen. That's all that happens. So what we see on Stitch is that once this starts to happen, it usually doesn't take too long before someone is willing to nominate a time and a date, choose location, and so that you can make the activity happen. After you click OK, this is what the page looks like. You can see an indication that you've expressed an interest in the activity. And if you want to remove yourself at any point, you can just click the link on the activity that says remove yourself. And you and all the other interested members will also see this prompt here encouraging you to make the activity a reality. Once you've had a few conversations with the other members and have a sense for the sorts of things they might like to do, then it's super easy to turn the idea into an actual activity that's going to take place. All you need to do is hit the Make This an Activity button, and Stitch will prompt you for a time, a date, and a location. And that's all you need to do. It's really easy. Everyone who's expressed an interest previously will be invited, and so will everyone else in the area. You just need to go along and start meeting all the other wonderful members that you've already started to connect with already. And if you keep on doing it, before long you'll find you're in a thriving, active community in your area. That's what it's all about. So that's how the activities page on Stitch works to get the community started in new areas and help it foster, grow, and thrive. It starts with possibilities, which are ideas for activities suggested by Stitch that you show your support for. Then there are suggestions from members about things they'd like to do that other members can express their interest in. And then there are activities which have a fixed date, time, and location and are where the fun really starts to happen on Stitch. And together, all these features are built with one purpose in mind, and that's to make community happen. Phew, all done. I know it might sound complicated, but at the end of the day, it's really, really simple. Stitch can give you some ideas for possible things you'd like to do, or you can suggest things you'd like to do yourself, or you can just dive right in and start organizing activities yourself, because that's where the fun happens. But if you don't want to do any of those things, it's totally okay to wait around and just attend activities that other members organized. But did you know? Members on Stitch who organize activities consistently tell us that they are happier, more rewarded, have made more friends in the community than people who don't. And organizing is easy. You're just nominating something you'd like to do and you're picking a date and time. So you might just want to give it a try sometime. Okay, that's it from me. Let us know if you have any comments or questions, either in the comments below on this video on whatever platform you're viewing it on, or by sending us a message by hitting Contact Stitch in the More menu on Stitch. And don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a review, all those good things. Until next time, bye for now.